ราะว่ามื้อเหลียวในเฮ็ดการสร้างก็มันเลยกินมื้อนั่งเฮาเฮ็ดสวนยางได้หั่นนะ
This road leads to the heart of Burma's opium industry.
ไหนก็เฮาคามื้อเหลียวได้มีไปมีอาจจะโทรหังได้เฮาคาเลยเฮ็ดไว้สวนหมอกได้เฮา
Valley after valley is covered with opium poppy. Nearly 25% of the world's heroin starts here, scraped from the plant's sticky sap. In 2006, poppy production had all but been eliminated here in the heart of the Golden Triangle. Heralded by the United Nations as a major victory in the global war on drugs, it was a hopeful, yet hapless prediction. 10 years on, a toxic combination of civil war and poverty have driven farmers back to a crop with a seemingly unending market, feeding a global hunger for heroin.
Since 2006, opium cultivation in Myanmar has tripled again, showing that the optimism of 2006 that the end of the Golden Triangle was in sight, I think really was completely unrealistic. Myanmar is back again as one of the major opium cultivation countries in the world.
Farming poppies and harvesting opium are both illegal in Myanmar. But here in a rebel-controlled area of southern Shan State, bordering China and Thailand, the industry runs with impunity. The ethnic Shan have long harvested poppy for medicinal value on a small scale. But now, it's being used to escape poverty and fund their fight for freedom from the central government.
นั่นแต่คนปลูกได้ใครมีใครกูก้อยเขามันเฮ็ดหยาบว่าพอเขาก็ขายมันกลุ่มกินกลุ่มแย่มนะ
Food security is a concern here amongst the villagers. Resources are scant. Villagers have no electricity or running water. Although poppy has not made them rich, it has kept food on their tables. This is just one valley of poppy, surrounded by a sea of others. The UN estimates that the 100 hectares of poppy in this one field will eventually translate into $160 million on the streets in the form of heroin. Each family here will earn about $2,000 from a harvest, about 3 times more than if they had grown vegetables, but there is 5 times more labor. Farmers face extortion from middlemen and have to pay unofficial taxes to local police, rebel groups, and the Burmese government. The government, despite the corruption, has an official policy of identification and eradication, but researchers say the strategy, when enforced, often backfires.
First of all, of course, when you go into a village where people rely on opium cultivation as their sole cash crop and you destroy that, it creates conflict with the villages. It also really creates very big livelihood problems today because you drive them further into poverty. This is their cash crop that they rely on. They have to buy rice from it. If you eradicate that, all of a sudden they don't have that anymore. So very serious problems for that.
A year ago, the road to this area didn't even exist, making access nearly impossible. But in an attempt to help curb the booming poppy industry, the United Nations carved this rugged path into the mountain landscape. They are working to create alternative livelihoods for farmers caught in the poverty and poppy cycle.
We are very happy again to be here with you, within our, almost we can say within our family here. We feel at home.
JOCHEN arrived recently from Peru, where he spent 30 years transforming a landscape dominated by coca to coffee. He has similar plans here.
Okay, for everybody who will be selected for a new coffee field, yeah. So next
But must first gain the farmers' trust.
Mr. Miguel will go with the technicians in the next 2 weeks to assure the best quality of seeds possible for coffee.
While poppy can be planted and harvested only 4 months later, farmers must wait 3 years with no income for their first coffee yield.
Pero las plantas están muy bien, ¿no? Muy bien, ¿no? So coffee you have to see here is just first permanent crop. Yeah? It's one of the essential crops. What we do with the farmers is treat them now not anymore as very poor people. We treat them now as partners. We go to them and tell them, we want to work with you. We want you to leave with the poppy cultivation. We don't condition you to give you this.
While the United Nations has convinced a small number in the community to begin growing coffee, there is still a question as to whether it will curb poppy or just move the problem to a different area.
個屁個喺裏邊起，做個屁冚ไปคืดใน呢ทีละเอาในยาก็ทาเนี่ยเขาขาได้วนทาจะได้นั่น
ถ้าว่ากาแฟนี่ไม่อยากได้กินนี่ไม่หมักนี่นะได้ปลูกอยู่นะถ้าว่ามาปลูกนี่มีเมียนกินไปนะ
And even if Mr. Weiss is successful in his plans to convert this area into a budding coffee cooperative, experts warn that without curbing demand for heroin and creating peace in Myanmar's jungles, the war on drugs will continue.
For many of them, they see opium as a solution rather than a problem. It will be very difficult to solve the drug problem if we don't have peace in the country. It doesn't mean we should not do anything now at the moment. We can start development projects which would really start to address the most urgent problems that we have. But clearly at the same time, without peace, it's very hard to solve the drug problem.